Today I'm starting a new series. This is gonna be the first episode. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so this is gonna be the Valentine's Day edition. So we're gonna start off with, I guess, my first crush. So I'm gonna like change the name. So let's give her. Let's just call her like
Sally.
who?
I don't know, like Sally or something.
Sally. All right. Well, you Sally.
No, it's Billy Bob.
Shut up. All right. Well, this girl's name it was like Sally, and or Sally. Yeah, this goes back in like elementary school. I was in first grade, and I guess I was really shy, and I wasn't really confident back then. And me and my friend, my best friend, we go in the library and one day, and we were talking, and the whole class was in there. And I had no idea that, oh my goodness. Hold up a moment. Alright. Well, somehow, I guess they overheard us. We were talking and stuff, and they overheard us. And we were just talking about, you know, our crushes and stuff. So we start talking about our crushes, and this girl, I guess, sitting at the table next to us, she overheard us, and so she goes up to she hears who I was talking about, and she goes to the girl, and she starts talking to her and like telling her, hey, like this guy likes you, and like she told her like everything like I said basically, and we didn't know that she could hear anything, so that was a big mess up. But she knew. So I was like, ah, crap. But she comes over and she talks to me, and it didn't turn out well. The only words I heard, cause she was just standing, and I knew she didn't like me, especially from what she said. But the only thing I really heard and remember to this day is "I don't like you." That's it. She like gave this whole speech, and those are the only words I like remembered, and I was like, crap. Really? Yeah, man. That's what happened. So I was really sad, and I went home that day, kind of just like, what the heck happened? And I thought about it for a while. And as I said before, I was really shy. I didn't really know anything back then. And so like one thing you want to do, you know, helpful hint, don't go up to like a girl, or don't talk around a girl that you like if you don't want them to know. Cause that crap will backfire. What? Oh crap. Anyways. So, next story, let me think. What is in your Valentines Edition? Okay, what was that other one? Alright, let's talk about, I guess, this girl who I met last summer. If she sees this, she'll know who it is. She'll know it's her, because this is gonna be like everything. She'll know. I'm not gonna tell her say her name. Let's call her Amanda. Let's just call her Amanda. No, what the heck? It's a girl. What girl's name is Billy? No. Let's call her Amanda. Billy G. Okay. All right, so Amanda Alright, so what happened was I was at the airport. This is like my first time going, I guess I was going to the summer camp. And this was the... You've never been on a plane? What the heck? That was her, actually, that was her first flight ever. And I was teasing her about it the whole time. But what happened was, I went to the airport and this is my first time on a flight, to somewhere on my own. And so I'm sitting there, I get my stuff, I just start sitting down, waiting for the flight to call me up to like go to the gate and stuff. And they call me up to the front counter. And I'm like, what? And because I was confused, like, why did they call me? So they call me up to the front counter, and I start walking over, and I guess they tell me, hey, your tickets are well, they said, oh crap, man, I'm like blabbering. They just told me that I had a new pair of tickets, and that like I guess some crap happened, and they didn't have I mean, I already had tickets, but for some reason they gave me a new pair of tickets because of the next flight. The next flight was on a 2-hour layover. So when I got there, I was like, crap, but so they gave me like a B and C ticket. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I had 2 A boarding pass tickets. I'm not even underage. I have 2 A pass boarding tickets. And so I'm like, alright. And I wait. And I'm like waiting in line to get on the plane. I get on, right? C, that was my C boarding pass. I wait, I get on. And when I get on, I look for the prettiest girl to sit by. That was like my game plan. I look for the prettiest girl to sit by.
Man, you're in the airport. I mean, you get kind of bored.
I know, right? Right? And it was like an hour flight. I'm not gonna, or an hour and a half flight, something like that. I'm not gonna wait and just be bored. So I looked for the prettiest girl I could sit by. I walked up in the rows. I saw a girl walk on the plane, and I thought she was beautiful. And I think I told her this later, but so I sit by her and I'm like talking to her, and I didn't know what to say at first, and she was reading a book. But I sit by her, and there's this other guy. Turns out they were both also LDS, which is kind of crazy. And I was like, what? Like, it was pretty shocking to me. But that made things a little bit more easier, I think. So we start talking, and we talk about some movies, TV, what kind of book she was reading. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was like some like romance.
How awkward it would be if some random guy walked up to you and said, hey, what book you reading?
No, but I was like sitting next to her. I asked. I think how I started the conversation was, hey, how are you doing? My name's Michael, like, or, yeah, and she was like, oh, my name's blah blah blah, you know, Amanda, whatever, and
My name's Billie Jean.
what the heck?
My name is John Cena. I'm a foreign exchange student from Ireland.
Oh my goodness. So I asked her what book she was reading, and she was like, oh, it's like this book, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a romance chick flick thing. It's like 50 Shades of Grey. No, it isn't. I hope she's not that kind of girl. Anyways, so we start talking and stuff, and I eventually get to the point where I asked for, I guess, some like social media accounts. Like, you know, how can I get yeah, pretty much. Basically, that was it. And I get that, and I get off the plane, and I'm walking with her, and I had to go. And I'm like waiting. This is like seriously kind of like the annoying part. Getting off the flight. I didn't want to leave her because she was so awesome and I had so much to talk about with her. She knows her name. She could be watching this. She probably isn't. She might see it eventually. That was a really good time for me. It wasn't near Valentine's Day, but it was good. I liked it. She was cool. So props, and she's getting married soon, so congratulations. If she ever sees this, just congratulations on that. And thank you for the invitation. But I won't be able to come, so
The Billy Bob.
okay. Alright, so the next thing that happened, I guess another story. This was during that summer camp. And again, I guess there are multiple girls. Okay, what do you think we should call them? 2 girls. Just give them names.
Squirrel and avocado.
Squirrel and avocado. No, we're not doing that. Give them real names.
Alright. Jeff.
What?
It's gonna be one.
Deb? How about Debbie?
Jeff.
Debbie? No, Jeff. What the heck? That has to be a girl's name. Debbie and something else. Crap. We gotta do Debbie and something. Debbie and Charlie. Okay, Debbie and Charlie. Charlie's a girl's name, right? I think so. Alright. Yeah, alright, so these girls, Debbie and Charlie. And I guess I learned this new game, and we were all in groups, and I didn't know anyone. The whole week I was kind of depressed, because I wasn't acting myself, like, the whole time. And at the end, I started acting myself, but it was, like, the last day, and I felt really bad. It kind of sucked. But I met this girl, and I had a lot of money with me, because I guess my family gave it to me so that I could go and, like, have fun and do a bunch of stuff. And my uncle called me, and he told me, like, hey, you know, go out, take a girl to a date, on a date or something, you know? And so, what happened, I was taught this new game, and we were all playing it, like, the whole group. I guess they're, like, my family or something for the week. And so, I was, like, talking about, oh, dude, I want to go get Jamba Juice. There's a Jamba Juice here. And so, I was like, I don't know how, but I think I mentioned, like, hey, does anyone want Jamba Juice? Or I think like I was talking about Jamba Juice, and they said like, oh, I want Jamba Juice. I think that's what it was. And I like said, oh, like I'll take you to get some. I'll buy you some. And she's like, oh, okay. And I asked our I guess our leader, hey, can we go and get some Jamba Juice? Just a minute, we'll be back. He's like, yeah. But what happened was it was the end of, I guess, that time, and we had to split off. Because the time was running out. So she was like, she comes up to me and she's like, oh, well, that's too bad. How about we meet, you know, tomorrow, and we'll do it. And I'm like, sure, okay, like, where? And she, like, I think she told me your dorm that she was living in or something. And so I was like, okay. Or, like, we'll meet up somewhere. I don't remember. It was something like that. So, next day comes. I go to meet her. Or, like, I'm talking to her, and I think she said, oh, I can't do it today. How about we meet, blah, 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 like, tomorrow. So, the next day comes. And this is like an awkward, it becomes a really awkward date. So Debbie says, oh, I can't do it today either, let's do it tomorrow. So And she gave me her dorm, cause I guess stuff happened and it was during our free period. So I'm like, okay, fine. I was getting a little like worried here or annoyed. You know what I mean, James? Wouldn't you be annoyed at that point? Yeah. So
I would.
I'm not expecting anything to happen at this point. I was kind of depressed. It was kind of sad, you know. I was like, crap. Well, what if this like never happened?
So you're just sitting there.
So no. So here, no, listen. Yeah, no, listen. What happens? So what happens is, I guess she really wanted to do it or something. She really wanted to go with me, but a bunch of stuff was happening, and she was practicing for this audition to be in a talent show at the camp. And so I went to her dorm and I waited there for her. And she comes out a couple minutes after she said, I remember that distinctly. She comes out a couple minutes after the time that she said, and I was a little annoyed by that because I was there like 10 minutes or I was like 5 minutes early because I was all the way across campus, so I start running. I run all the way across the campus, just like what?
It got you a leg workout, and now it's helping you die.
Yeah, it got me a leg workout, but it was like, because it usually, if you walk to the other side of campus, this is a college, right? If you usually walk up to the other side, because I counted before, it usually takes about 15 or 12 minutes. 12 to 15 minutes. So I ran there, and I got there in 5 minutes. So like half the time. I was just like running it the whole time. And so I got really tired when I got there, and I waited. And I don't think I even texted her. I just like waited. And she comes out 5 minutes after the time remaining. So I was waiting out there for 10 minutes. She comes out, and her friend comes out. It was like kind of weird waiting there though, because I guess it was the girls' dorm. And if a guy steps,
Hit me with a grenade.
mm-hmm.
Bounced off of me.
Well, if a guy if a guy goes to the girls' dorm, like they have this thing where they're like, we love you, but you gotta go home now. They basically kick you out of the dorm. So that was kind of like, I didn't want to get in trouble or anything. And she comes out, but the thing that happened was her friend came with her. I didn't say anything. She just came with her, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry for coming along. I wanted to support, what's her name? What do we name her? Oh, Charlie. So Charlie comes along, and she's like, I wanted to support her with her audition, because her audition was right afterwards. So I'm like, okay, I can understand that. So she's, what the, so her friend comes along, and we're just walking, and because we're supposed to, what is it called? We're supposed to hold arms when we because we're supposed to escort girls everywhere. So I escort both of these girls, and I was just like talking to them the whole time, and I was really annoyed the whole time by this. I don't know if you could call it a date, really, but if it was, I'd like to call it a double date with one guy. And it just a really bad one at that. Like one of the girls seemed like she was just there, and her friend might have asked her to come, maybe not. I really don't know. I still don't know. I never asked. But we go, and I did the most, I guess, something. I was so annoyed. Something. Charlie. I didn't ask if I could buy her a Jamba Juice. And that was kind of douchey of me, because, like, even if someone comes along, you're supposed to buy them something. And I didn't know that at the time, though. And I was just really kind of annoyed. Like,
even know that, so thanks for the tip.
yeah, if someone comes along, always buy them something, even if you're annoyed or whatever, you know, just think of it as, hey, you got another girl there with you. That's it. Just, you know, talk to them both. Act like it's the double date. Doesn't matter. You're supposed to treat them the same. And that's kind of yeah, with your imaginary friend. So I kind of went wrong there. But it was really sad. I was annoyed. So that's kind of how that went. So they know who they are. They're awesome. And she was actually my cow, which is basically crush of the week. That's what it's crush of the week. It's a synonym, or I think it's a synonym. I don't. Yeah, cinnamon. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's a cinnamon. But so yeah, she was like my crush of the week, and it's basically that's what they call a cow or a dog, daughter of God. That's kind of what they call them. It was really funny. And all the guy, like, I would ask my like roommate, really tall, good-looking guy too. I kind of felt weird being around him because I was like, holy crap, like this guy could be a model. Like, I could too when I was younger. I'm actually, I don't know, I'm not gonna go there, but it was just really funny. And he had a crush of the week too. This one girl he always hung out with. It was cool. He was cool. I liked rooming with him, but I never got to know really anyone there because I wasn't acting like myself the whole week. It was weird. Like, I've never had it happen to me, but besides that time. But let's continue. All right. Well, let me think. What's another story?
I'll do it.
You'll do one? Okay, you do one. You do one.
Alright. So, mine is kind of like the first one, except it happened in the 60s.
Okay.
Alright. So, me and my friend Daniel, we were just sitting around talking things up the subject. And so I tell him who I like, and it just happened to be that the girl's best friend is standing right behind us when we're talking. And so, next thing you know, bam, it's all through the school. And then, so the next morning, me and my friend, he pulls out a $10 bill. I'm like, hey, I put up a handgun, you know, yeah, I did that. And I was just constantly saying, give me money. And so, for some reason, she comes sits down next to my best friend. And it is just really awkward. She doesn't say anything, but sits there for like 20 minutes. And so I'm just sitting here, give me the money. Give me the money. My hand is just constantly shaking. Give me the money. Give me the money.
Is that it? That's it? Okay. Give me the money.
She never said any words to me. She just sat there in silence.
Alright, well, I got a story. So this one is actually about a friend who kind of she isn't my friend anymore. She was awesome and I'd still love to be her friend, but she had some problems. Starts with a T. She'll never see this video, and that makes me kind of happy, kind of sad, you know, but and she probably already knows, you know, I'm sorry for what happened. it was, I think it was totally her fault. And cause I mean, I don't know how to say it, but anyways, so this was actually also during this last summer. So I got a bet with, yeah, right? When I met you in the summer. Okay. But, so what happened is, we'd known each other for a while, and she was really cool. And I talked to her, and I guess what happened was I was at a dance, and the same week I had gotten a bet that no, I guess it was like 2 weeks before, but it was like basically the time that I'm gone at the camp, if I could get 10 girls' numbers, then I win the bet. And so what happened is, oh, I didn't win the bet, but I got really close actually. If you consider the numbers that I did get afterwards, like the next week, then I did win the bet. But it was kind of the time that I was gone, so those extra numbers don't really count. But I was really playing it back then. I was everywhere. But so we were at a dance, and I guess I really wanted to dance with her. I wanted to, like, you know, because I didn't know how much time I was gonna be able to see her or anything, and she was like never there, ever. Like she lived in a different city, or like town. I guess it was town because it was really small. So I didn't really get to see her a lot. So she came and I asked her to dance, but she was doing homework, and she said, "Oh, I'll dance with you later." So I come back later and ask if she wants to dance. And she says, "You know, I'm still doing my homework. Let me, I'll dance with you at the end." And so, again, I actually, early on in that dance, this was really funny for me, but me and this guy were both, like, talking to these two girls. And at the same time, like a new dance started, or a new song, and I was like, me and him at the same time said, "Oh, do you want to dance with me?" At the same exact time. And so what I did was actually, this girl might see this. I took her by the hand, put my arm around her waist, and just carried her out to the dance floor, kind of. Like, just walked her over there. And the guy stares at us like, what the heck just happened? And I was like, yes! I, like, stole her away from him. Like, she didn't have time to, like, really answer. She said, like she was going to, but she didn't know who, like, to, like, choose or anything, because we asked at the exact same time. So that was awesome. I kind of stuck my tongue out at him, not mature, but you know what they say, guys are all 12-year-olds in grown-ups' body. So back to the other story. So I went and asked her on the last dance to dance with me, and we go out to the dance floor. And what happens was, like, the weirdest thing ever. I start walking to the dance floor. Kind of next to her, kind of not. I walked ahead of her because she was putting down her stuff. I walked to the dance floor, and she walks she walks to the dance floor, but in another completely different part of it. And I'm looking at her like, what? Like, where is she? And I find her. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Because she she wasn't with me, and I was confused. And what happened was it was a big just miscommunication and stuff. Body language was like all over the place. But so I didn't dance with her. Basically, I walked back and just sat down, and she walks and just goes sits down, and I just stare at her like, what the heck is going on? And the next day I confront her kind of, and I'm just like, hey, what happened? I didn't get to like talk to you, or I didn't get to dance with you. And she was like, and cause this is what happened. We were rope climbing, and I asked her to put on my the rope like attached to me and stuff, cause I didn't know how to do that. Tie the knot around my waist or whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. You know what I mean though, right? So I asked her to tie it around my waist. It was so funny. She was like, I don't know. It was just weird. I was like, hey, she was like, do you want it tighter? And I'm like, yeah, I want it tighter. It was so funny. It was just really, really funny. And she looks at me, and she just like, she smirks and kind of like laughs, and I just stand there laughing. But she was like really mad at me. Like afterwards, she kind of just gave me like a teasing grin. I don't know how to explain that. It's like that thing where a girl's mad at you, but it's funny.
Like the way you said it. Yeah, I want it tighter.
Exactly, yeah. It was just like, so I was like, hey, so why are you so like mad at me? Like, what did I do? I should be mad. You walked off the dance floor, and I didn't get to even dance with you. And she's like, what? You walked away from me. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm so confused. So she started explaining to me that we were going kind of in different directions when we went to the dance floor. And like, I wasn't following her and she wasn't following me. And we both walk on the dance floor, and we just both looked around for each other, but we saw each other at different times. And she walked off the dance floor and I walked off the dance floor. I was just so mad. And she was mad, and she was just angry at me. She was pissed. I wasn't that mad. I was kind of just confused and just like, what? But
I don't see why you would be mad about that.
it was confusing. But she was mad because she was on the dance floor and she's a girl and she didn't want to be there by herself. And I asked her to dance, and
people just have to have so much attention.
But we're not friends anymore because of what happened. It was really sad. She had I called her and she never called me back. Like, that makes me so annoyed when I call someone and they say I'll call you back in a couple of minutes, and they don't call back. They don't call back. Doesn't that annoy the hell out of you?
Yes.
Right? So I called her back. I don't call this girl often. I don't talk to her often. I call her like once a month. And so I call her, and she answers, and she puts her grandma on the phone. This is like the last conversation we had. A couple minutes. And it was a joke though. She put her grandma on the phone.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
It was a joke.
But so she put her grandma on the phone and kind of joked and stuff. And it was really weird because I guess I knew it was a joke, but it was really weird because her grandma didn't want to talk to me. And I didn't know her grandma. and her grandma tried to like move the phone away when she put it in her face. But I was trying to be like, hey, like, can I talk to you? You know, like, I want to know how it's going in Virginia.
In an awkward situation where a girl likes you and your best friend?
Yes.
CUAV destroyed.
Have you ever been in an awkward situation where all the guys, like all of your best friends have at one time or another liked the same girl?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I think every guy has those things, right? I think every guy has experienced those. But oh, hold on. Oh yeah, I've had that. But what happened was she's like, hold on, I'll call you back. She gets on the phone. We talked for like 2 minutes. She's like, hold on, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I gotta do something. She never called back. And this was a month ago. A month or 2 months ago. No, when I met you last summer. I did meet her 2 summers ago, I think. I met her in like February, I'm pretty sure. It was at a dance, and actually she looks completely different with her glasses on than off. It was really weird.
I have a friend like that.
Yeah, right? Like you don't notice who they are. Like it's after that moment when I met her and I was like, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" I found out her name, and then like she wears glasses later, and I'm like, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" And she's like, "We met earlier." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? I've never met you." And it's that moment where you realize I see how Superman does it. You know, how he keeps his identity secret with just some glasses, because I was like so confused.
Yeah.
But so
do you have a best friend that has the same name as you?
yes. Yeah, he's like one of my best friends ever.
Totally different without glasses.
Yeah. Actually, the guy with the same name as me helped me so much with girls. I'm not gonna lie. I still have emails from him. Props to you, Mike. You're amazing. Michael Bonds, he's like awesome, dude. He taught me so much about girls and being confident and stuff. But basically what happened was she never called back. So I called her. I called her. She didn't answer again. This is like a month later. And then I texted her and I was like, hey, you know, I'm a little annoyed. And the night before, I just talked to her sister. And I friended her sister on Facebook. She was awesome. She was like so cool. She was like her sister. And I'm like, hey, like, I hope you don't mind me being like, you know, not being friends with your sister anymore. She was awesome. I loved her personality, but I just didn't like what she did. She never called me back, and she had some issues. Just little issues, but they were. I couldn't handle it. It was just, if someone doesn't call me back, that's it. You know, it's over. So I was like, why? Like, why did you? Here's my kill cam. Let's go. Yeah. I know. That small jump. That moment you realize Call of Duty isn't for you. No, listen, hold up. I'm trying to finish this one. This girl, I text her and I send her a really, really nice, strongly worded text. I was about to say letter. And I was like, hey, you know, you never call me back. I'm annoyed, you know, why can't you just call me and, like, talk to me a little bit, you know? You never call back. That's the most frustrating thing in the world. If I call someone and they say they're going to call back, I expect them to call back sometime that day, if not at the time that they say they are. And so, she doesn't call back. Actually, I have a couple friends like this. I told her this, and she was like, you know, I don't need you, or, yeah, I don't need you, and I don't need this, because I have a new life now, and I'm on my own, and I'm eating dinner with my cousins right now, so I don't need this. Boom! Or blop, or whatever. I'm like, what the heck? Anyways. So she blocks me. She blocks me, and I'm like, what? Oh, dang. And she blocks me. The next day, I'm not sure if her sister blocked me, or if she blocked me on her sister's account. I don't know how that how it was. Could have been her parents too. Heck, I don't know. I was kind of sad about that because her sister was awesome too, and she didn't have the same problems. That was the good thing. She didn't have those problems that were so frustrating.
Alright.
But crap, it was like she didn't. That's just how it happened. She kind of just left me hanging, and I apologized later by text, hoping she would get it. I haven't heard from her since. I'm through with it. But now every time I hear the song "Hello" by Adele, like I think of her. Odell. Odell Beckham. Every time I hear that, right? Every time I hear the song "Hello" by Odell Beckham, Odell Beckham Jr., I think of her. It's just like one of the things, like, because if you think of how the song goes, hello, can you hear me? It's me. I've been waiting for so long, you know? And then she's like, I've called like 10,000 times, and just like, she's like, oh, I want to apologize, but you're obviously not heartbroken about it, you know what I mean? Like, if you hear the lyrics, it's like the same situation, and I hope she sees this one day, but that's how it is, man. I feel so bad.
My story that is recent.
Okay.
In like 2 days. So, in 2 days, I have a school $55. Like, there's very few open seats because we're taking the smaller bus. And so, the only open seats are around me and my best friend. So, I'm still wondering how that's gonna end out.
You're gonna get the girls of your dreams, and they're gonna be transfer students from like Russia, and they're gonna move in your class, and they're gonna be like beautiful blondes, and you're gonna be like, oh, it's sad. In our minds, this is how guys think. Trust me, this is how guys think. We get annoyed by things that I guess girls would definitely be annoyed by, but I mean, girls don't always think about the other person. I think guys actually think more from the other person's standpoint than the girls do. They think about people more, but just not from their view. So that's it for tonight.
There's only one thing
Have
I
fun.
hate about people, and that's when they get really mad because it's raining, and that they'll make
What?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.